On this session of Intrigue Teaches, we're doing something big. You know, sometimes it's fun to make cute little pieces, beautiful little floral designs, and sometimes you just want to get a massive, giant piece. And that is what we're going to be creating. We are creating a massive arrangement. This is going to start with our beautiful roses up top. We're going to add in some of our ferns. We're going to add in some mimosa. And then it's going to cascade and spiral all the way down. So do you want to know how I did it? First, we start with this great container from Accent Decor that is heavy as anything, so it holds up really well. On top, I have a 12-inch loamy dish. I have the loamy dish double taped. I did not chicken wire this one. However, I do recommend chicken wiring it. I use it all the time where I do both tape and chicken wire. So that's definitely an option. And then I want to show you a fun little trick. Well, it's not fun, but it's really productive. So this here is a full 9 feet of the Oasis sausages. They are the netted links. I call them sausages. I'm pretty sure they sell them as sausages. And what my trick is to not make it lopsided or fall over is the lengths are pre-soaked. Once this is soaked, it'll help weigh itself down. So inside this heavy container, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the links that'll give me nice weight and hold it in there nice and tight. And then I'm going to put my loamy right on top of that. And that's what I'm going to design it. Now, if I'm designing in the studio, I'm going to do this, of course, on my design table and then place it. But for today, we're going to design this all as one beautiful piece. And I'm going to do something a little bit different with our roses that we're going to be designing in our top arrangement. I want something spiky, something different that we see all the time. So I'm going to start by doing some low and deep roses. And I've chosen my lighter tones. I've got these Silvery Light roses, and I've got these beautiful Whitehouse roses. So I'm going to use these lighter tones, and I'm going to cut my stems pretty short, and I'm just going to start to add roses nice and tight into my loamy. What I'm then going to do is add some roses that are wisped out longer and taller, giving it a really interesting effect. So because these are tight, I can go ahead and clip a whole bunch of them, and this design will move faster than my average large-scale design, just because no one's going to see these roses in here. Well, I take it back. Oops. You're going to see the rose, but the rose doesn't have to be the perfect shape, the perfect placement, just because we're going to add all those big, long roses in here. I'm going to pull off any leaves that might be under the foam. I still don't want to put leaves under the foam. Again, I'm just placing. I'm going to try to hold this loamy, because if it don't hold the loamy, when I push in, you'll see it'll slide. And I'm giving these enough space that I can still get my longer stemmed roses in. Now the reason I chose to do the light color on the inside is because I want the darker tones on the outside to really pop, and I think it'll be neat to see the light shining through. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect when you're putting these on the inside. It's another great job if you've got someone who is new and fresh and just needs some extra help. Just get them to place the roses on the interior. That way it's already done, so when you come in and do the finished design, you can get through that part really quick. It's always helpful to have those newbies working on the simplest of jobs. Oh, I love how tall this container is. I keep walking by it, it's like almost as tall as me. Once I'm done with this design, it's going to measure about 7 to 8 feet tall, which is really, really exciting. A few more. So that is my count for my lighter tone roses. So I'm going to pull a few. I need to get a couple over here a little bit longer. So I just took from the other side and popped them over here. Okay, now I've got my base on. After I get my base on, then I want to jump into adding these extensions of roses, which is going to feel so crazy and different at first. But stay with me because it's going to be spectacular. So what I'm going to do, we're leaving these leaves on. We're going to take our rose, which is really going to jut out, and it is going to be poking out. So it's going to be gangly and long, unexpected, again, different. You know, I like designing a lot of the same designs. You've seen me do that big, beautiful, arching design so many times. I've taught it so many workshops and classes, and I love that design. But sometimes you just want to design something that's got a little bit different pizzazz. Of course, I've still got a little bit of arch because you know what? I think I'm addicted to the arch. I'm going to take one, this is going to go straight up into the foam, and it's going to angle down. Right now, I'm starting to get my form in here. So this is going to be waving down, it's going to connect with where my foam is. So this piece here, you see I went right into my sausage. I've got roses clipped, we're going to do some additional work there. But I wanted to go right to that sausage so we get this formation that you see happening. And then continue to go all around this piece. These are 60-inch stems, and I don't need quite that length, especially not for this layer. So I just went ahead and cut them down, and then I'm going to go in, and I'm going to keep adding. I love the dimension of color, especially once we start adding in some of those pink ferns. So as I'm placing these one at a time, I really like the way that it's starting to really fill out. And again, you're seeing all of the rows. So you can appreciate this as a full flower. And then where it's coming, oops, there we go. Sometimes I miss the phone. Where it's coming down this direction, I'm kind of going to wash it up a little bit in this direction to give me a little bit of uneven balance, if you will. Now that I'm starting to feel really good about the level of the large flowers that are poking out nicely, now I want to add another layer in here. I want to add a layer in between. So we have the light on the bottom, and then I've got this hot pink out here. I'm going to go in with one more layer of hot pink that is just underneath the exterior layer. Sometimes it's nice to be able to look at your piece from multiple angles to see where you need to add, where you might need to take away. Right now I'm feeling like I need to add a little bit more in this area over here. Alright, I feel really good about the roses. I love the shape, I love the movement. Now it's time to add a little pizzazz in here and changing up the texture a bit. I also have some muted lavender that I may add to just add some lightness on the outskirts. So this here, this is a painted fern. It's really great. It dries well, it holds well, and I'm going to work this in, weave it through. So we've added our pink fern, which has given us this fun texture. We've got our light flowers and deep shining through. We've got these gorgeous Hot Explorer hot pink roses. And now I'm gonna add a little bit of that light tone pulling forward. So I really feel like I had to start with my deeper base and then adding those lavenders to just give it a hint. And this is just so romantic, I can't even handle it. Well, I can handle it actually. Oh, I love it. So I'm taking these lavender roses and I'm going to take them in at a mid-height. So I don't want them to fight with my hot pink roses. I want them to exist together. So I get asked a lot of questions about being nervous and designing, or when you get that confidence. I have to tell you, I'm nervous all the time. So I don't know if that ever goes away. I know in my heart I'm a good designer, but when I'm designing, I get nervous, even when it's something I've done 100 times, or something I know I can do. But then it starts to get to this pen in place, and it's exciting. All right, so I have in my plan, just adding a touch of this lavender popping out. Yep, I'm doing it. I wasn't sure if I wanted to, but now that I look at it, I most definitely want to. Hold up low again so it doesn't fall out. Oh yes, I love that light tone. That just took it from beautiful to magnificent. Like before, we're going to play with our depths. We're going to be in and out. You can see every single rose in here. Every rose. So I'm just following the line, making sure I have balance on both sides. Add a little bit of that light on this side over here. Back to the shape, to the size, and now I'm going to start getting into my garland. Now, the garland is a really important part. Oh, I have one more thing we need to add. Plumosa. Ooh. This here is a dried silver plumosa, and what I want this to do is I want this to just sparkle in a little bit, almost like floral glitter that's in our arrangement. I'm going to have it sparkle through, and then I'm going to have it cascade down onto our garland. So this doesn't even have to go in the water. I'm just going to weave it in. I'm going to put it in deep. This is my floral glitter. Now that I feel good, I've got a little bit of that glitter, that sparkle up here, I'm going to start weaving down my garland. I'm going to weave on the inside, on the outside. This is also going to give me kind of a natural feel, as natural as painted plumosa can be. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to add in these pink ferns, and I'm going to do this so that it connects, coming all the way down here, connects to my spiral, goes all the way around. Once I have my pink ferns in, we're going to finish it off with roses. On to the next step. We need to add roses, fill up this beautiful cascade. I think I may have said beautiful a lot, and that's because this is beautiful. And I'm gonna need some help if I'm gonna get this done. I think, you know when those kids are around, they're really helpful, so, hey kids, you wanna come help do some flowers? Yeah! Yay, yay! All right, hopping right over here, and I'm gonna show you what to do. It's really easy. Now you guys have grown up doing flowers, so you probably could teach me how to do this, couldn't you? Just to be on the safe side. All right, Kim, are you ready? Take some flowers. Gently in your hand. Don't throw the flowers. Do not throw the flowers.
I feel like this should be a YouTube video.
Skylar, take some flowers. Now, I just want a PSA out there. We are having some fun, and we are roughing these flowers up a little bit, but that's because we are here to design for you today. On a real wedding, maybe don't have your kids toss the flowers around. All right, so what I want is we need to create a cascade here. This foam, the flowers are gonna go right into the foam. And for now, I don't want you to think too much about where you're placing them. I just want you to place, and just place about ½ inch in, and then move on. Make sure you're holding this when you place, all right? You can hold us, there's a table over there, you can hold us. Come on in, Kim. Yeah, put them down like Skylar did, that's great.
A seasoned pro.
Good job. Good job. All right, how quickly do you think we can do this? Can we be like Fast and the Furious of flowers?
No thinking.
No thinking. So sometimes it's good to not think too much about design, because if you overthink it and you worry about where every single flower is going to go, then you'll be here all day. It'll take you forever. So sometimes you just have to place the blooms. Now, we saw that flower that just popped out. That sometimes does happen. What we're going to do once we place these is we're actually going to stem lock this with a floral lock and spray adhesive. Now you do want to make sure you're doing both the front and the back, because you have to have balance of weight. So when you're calculating your flower counts, always make sure that you've allotted flowers for both sides of the arrangement. If you think one-sided, you'll be very, very sad. This was so much fun to design. I think we should do another one. What do you guys think?
No.
What? What? All right, I think they've had enough. Thank you for joining me. This was a fun design to create. I can't wait to see what you make with this inspiration.